Last time we played, Harbeck finished interrogating Philip but couldn't convert him to being good, so he was forced to execute him. The party investigated the Temple of Titania and discovered two puzzle doors. After some trial and error and as well as clever reasoning, they managed to open both doors and explore inside. Uh, One has an evil fiend hand with 6 fingers, and the other a tranquil forest garden room. The party also hears a little giggle coming from somewhere, which Rokus determined that there was some breathing coming from the center of the room by this big tree. And that's where we start. You guys are standing uh, near the doorway to between the room with the stream going through it and the garden room, and you're on the stone path right now.
Okay, so I'm suggesting that Icy go first because she's more in tune with this kind of a neighborhood. We've already know that it's not evil and it's got all sorts of nature type things in it. So I suggest she go a little bit ahead of us and try to scout out, see if she can go toward the middle and find the thing. And I also want to ask Pookie, does he smell anything that would be a person
He
or
we
something
actually
like
did
that?
that last time, and he failed to smell
Okay,
it out. But
okay,
Rokus actually rolled higher and was able to hear the breathing.
okay. I'm in a new spot now, so I may be having to reiterate things because I'm taking my notes from the last 6 weeks and trying to put those together with the notes I had before. So
Okay, yeah,
I
no,
may be doing things, asking questions and doing things like that I I'm
okay.
still trying to
I'll try to
put these
help you
things
out,
together.
and yeah. Also, if I think something's totally, you know, irrelevant or
Right,
something, I'll have to
right.
interrupt you there.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know you have to do that even when I'm done, but I'm going to be even more
Okay, I'll try to keep it
discombobulated.
managed and not be. I won't be mad at you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank God you got a teaching background.
I think exasperated is better than mad, but anyway, thank you.
All right. So yeah, so Harvick was suggesting Icy try to approach. It sounded like.
Yeah.
Okay, Icy, what do you think about that?
Sure.
Okay, so are you gonna walk towards the tree? What are you gonna do to try to kind of
Well,
suss out
the
this
breathing.
creature?
Want to come and talk with us? We'd like to talk with you. We mean you no harm.
Okay, roll persuasion. Do you have your sheet this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 19. And persuasion is a +1, so that's a total of 20.
Okay. Hold on. All right. Um. Okay. Let me hold on a moment. Okay. So you see some. Suddenly, you see some glowing orbs come out from behind the tree. They're emanating light, and you see them kind of floating around, and then they kind of squish into each other and form a humanoid shape. It's like, you know, arms and legs and a head, but it's just uh, kind of a white light coming out of it. And you see it kind of just like walking in midair, walking around.
Your garden, it's very beautiful. How long have you been here?
You don't hear any response, but you see the walking light creature is coming towards you.
I do a history check on that to see if I know what it might be.
Um, sure.
14 plus 4, 18.
Okay. You don't, from history, you don't know of any creatures that are like this. Um, but you wonder if it's some kind of magic spell or something. But yeah. Okay, so this little walking light thing is like coming pretty close to you guys, approaching you guys.
Okay, we didn't detect any evil from it, but I don't know how close I'd want it to get to me. I'll leave that up to you, Icy. We're
Yeah, I guess
behind you.
she's kind of in the front, so it's coming over like coming right at you, basically, very slowly, kind of walking, um, in midair.
Let me ask. Let me ask Pookie if there's anything in the land that he normally inhabits like that.
Okay.
I'm
Does he
gonna
have
He says he's not familiar with this.
Okay.
Rokus is going to kind of walk forward and put my arm out towards it.
Okay, it's coming towards your arm.
It's fine. I just keep my arm there.
All right, it bumps into your arm and it breaks into four light balls, and they just kind of circle around you guys.
Spell called detect magic, but it's quite obvious it is magical. So I don't even know if we like if I do detect magic, will it tell me more than that it is magic?
Can't remember.
Just a minute.
I'll check out the spell real quick.
It just detects that.
Yeah, it just it's more for like an object that you can't tell if it's like a sword or something. You want to see if it's magic. It's more for that kind of thing.
And I carefully put like a hand underneath one of the balls.
Yeah, you can try that.
See if it.
Yeah, you're able to kind of get one in your hand gently, and it sort of like rolls around in your hand. It's not hot, and but it then floats away out of your hand.
Okay.
You guys hear giggling again.
Is the giggling coming from the balls?
No, it's from behind a tree.
Okay. let's. I suggest again with Icy going first, we slowly go around behind the tree.
Hello, hello. We mean you no harm. Would you like to come out and visit with us? It's a beautiful garden that you have here. We come in peace. We'd like to meet you and talk with you. Are you a fairy of the garden? Oh, I'm not doing
Okay.
too well.
You after you talk, you wait a little while, and you're starting to get discouraged, but then you finally do hear a little voice speak out, but it's not in a language that you recognize.
How about me?
I think I've checked you guys' language, and none of you speak this language. I'll double check. What's yours? You got Common, Elvish, Orc, and Thieves' Cant. Yeah, it's not one of those.
And ask Pookie, is this a language he understands?
Okay. I don't think he. I don't think he actually understands any language except for Common, I guess. I'll double check that too.
Understand.
Yeah. Technically, the dog doesn't understand any language. It's just like a dog. It can figure things out.
Right.
And it can communicate telepathically. So yeah, Fuki doesn't actually know any language really.
Well, maybe we'll wave at it and motion it to come to us. We'll use some hand signals. We'll motion it to come to us.
Okay. How are so you're like gesturing with your hand?
Yes.
Okay. You don't see anything, but after a moment you feel something touch your finger. And then you hear giggling again. It sounds like it's right in front of you now.
Okay. Would it understand what we say? Like we may not be able to understand what it says, but can it understand what we say?
Not sure.
You'd have to. Um,
If you can understand us, tap my finger once. If you can't understand us, tap my finger twice.
Okay. You don't feel any taps.
Okay.
that would mean it doesn't understand. Um, how big is this tree?
In the center of the room.
Yeah.
It's not particularly tall. It goes up to the top of the ceiling, and the ceiling's not super high either. It's maybe
How
20
big
or 30
around is?
feet.
How big around is it?
Um, if you like went over to hug it, you'd probably get like halfway around it.
Okay. I think I'll go over and give it a hug.
Okay.
You tree hugger, you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a tree hugger. Um, so Ruckus goes and hugs the tree. Um, you hear some more giggling, and then you actually see something finally. Kind of like next to your shoulder, Ruckus, you see a tiny little green girl. with butterfly wings appear out of thin
Tinkerbell.
air. And she's
Hello,
hugging the tree with you.
There you go. I smile at her.
Peter Pan would know her.
Yeah.
I'll drop in the official art for this creature.
It's Tinkerbell.
Okay, so you have made first contact. But after a moment, she flutters into the center between you guys. And as she flies, you see some shiny, like, particles falling off of her.
Like fairy dust?
Scales.
Yeah, you're not sure
Okay.
exactly what it is, but little dusty, shiny, sparkly stuff.
Can we catch it?
I can put your hand out, and if you do, you want to put your hand out like through it.
Sure.
Yeah, it like you get some on your hand.
Can I?
You want to snort it or something?
I could smell it. See if it has smell.
um,
Sometimes fairy dust lets you fly. See if you can.
If I go to taste it, will the fairy react?
you can try that.
Yeah. I'm gonna gesture like I'm gonna taste it and see if she's alarmed or encouraging.
Okay, so she's looking your way, and are you actually trying to eat it, or you're just like gesturing?
I'm gesturing. See if
Uh, she
That's how
looks.
she'll
fairies
She's
defecate, isn't
she's
it?
she's she's giggling and kind of cocks her head,
okay. So she's confused.
and she says something, but you don't understand.
I'll cock my head and shrug my shoulders. And
She's like kind of blushes and giggles, and spins around, and she starts flying back. Starts flying past you guys to go into the room with the stream.
okay,
Let's follow her.
let's follow her.
Okay, so she goes over to the stream, and she kind of like she lands down on the ground next to the stream, and then she kind of cutely puts her hands behind her back and walks backward into, and then she kind of tiptoes on the surface of the water, and then she disappears.
I would go over to the water. Now is this a stream?
Yeah, it's a stream running through the room, and you guys have investigated it before. You found that it's very strange because at either end, the water is just appearing. It's not coming out of anything, and it's not going into any hole. It's just water is appearing on one side and disappearing on the other side.
And the water is just pure water.
Yeah, it's very clean looking. I think Icy scooped some up and looked at it before and found it was just super clean.
I'm gonna have a drink.
Okay. So how are you gonna do that?
I could get down on my hands and knees next to it and put my face down and like kiss the water to drink it.
Okay. You're able to drink it. Nothing strange happens, and it just tastes like water. It's super clean. Tastes very refreshing. It's sort of cool, and yeah, nothing strange happens.
Are there any leaves on the ground?
Leaves on the ground. In
Yeah.
this room, there's not. Um,
But how about the other room?
uh, yeah, looking back in the other room, you don't see. Yeah, it looks like there's not. You don't really see any loose sticks or leaves or anything on the ground.
Okay.
I'm going to take a piece of paper out of my pack, tear off a corner, and toss it where it looks like the current is the strongest to see what happens to it.
Okay, the paper lands on the surface of the water and floats over to the wall and kind of gets squished up against the wall. And then I guess it would kind of flip around. It's kind of stuck at the end.
So the fairy walked in backwards.
Yeah, she walked backwards. You saw her actually walking on the surface of the water for a moment, and then she disappeared. And do a perception check.
Oliver?
Yeah, everybody can do a perception check.
Perception.
I got 1 + 1, 2.
Perception.
15 minus 1, 14.
Ah, Richie's 15 plus 6 for 21.
Should I have Pookie do one too?
I think Rokus got you guys covered.
Okay.
Rokus, you don't hear any breathing anymore. You had rolled I think you rolled 21 also last time when you heard the breathing, and
Oh, cool.
you don't hear any breathing anymore. So you feel like she's not just invisible.
Gone somewhere, guys. I don't think we can follow her by going onto the water.
She went in backwards. What if one of us went in backwards?
We'll go ahead and try it. Well,
Um,
that's a good idea.
okay, if I disappear, I think the rest of you better do the same thing so we can stay together.
You disappear, we're gonna run away.
Huh? Well,
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
all right, I'll try that, see what happens.
All right, Harvick, you're gonna walk in backwards.
Yeah.
All right, you splosh into the water, bloosh bloosh bloosh, and nothing happens. You just
Okay.
get your shoes wet, your boots.
Okay. How deep is it?
Um, I guess yeah, you're a dwarf. It probably actually come up to your like crotch area.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around since backwards doesn't seem to help. And as long as it doesn't get any deeper, I'm going to go toward the roots that are on the other side.
Okay. You're able to get over there without anything happening.
Okay, and I'm trying to look at the roots and see if there's anything strange about
Um,
them.
so Harbeck's not a he's not an expert of nature things, so he doesn't see it. He just sees look like normal tree roots to you.
All right. Well, I've got a +1 on nature. That's not enough to.
You're not proficient. That you yeah.
All right.
I'm proficient in nature. Can
Yes,
I?
so is Icy.
Yeah.
You guys know
Plus
more
three.
about these kind of things than Harbeck.
Shall we go join him there, Rokus?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Okay.
Do we need to roll again?
Okay. What do you want to what roll for what?
Nature check. I did a 16 plus 3 is 19.
Just
Okay.
for oh, and I rolled a 18 plus 3, so
Okay,
21.
Icy and Rokus splosh into the water. Is that right? Are you walking into the water too?
Yeah,
To the
I am.
And
Just
Icy?
get to.
I'm gonna get Rokus to piggyback me over. I don't want to get my feet wet.
Okay, really? So you want him to carry you?
Sure.
All right. So
Hop
he
on.
he he grabs you up on his back and starts walking, and suddenly, Icy, you fall into the water, and Rokus is
Oh,
not there anymore.
oh.
Rokus, you don't notice at first that anything's different, but Icy's gone, and you don't see Harvick. But the roots of the tree and the stream are the same.
Okay.
Um, so we'll continue from here with Rokus for a bit, see what he does. But Rokus, you look up and you see the roots coming down a giant cliff face. You're no longer in a room. You're in a forest. And
Cool.
looking up this giant cliff face, at the very top you see a tree that looks just like the Torralei tree.
Okay.
Um,
Now,
turning around or looking around from where you're standing, you notice the sky is in twilight. There are stars shining, and there are all kinds of trees that you're not familiar with. So
it's
I'll give you a
forest.
chance to ask questions or say what you want to do.
Well, it's still a forest, so I'm pretty at home.
But
Uh,
it is very unusual.
uh, I'll uh, I'll see if I can. I'm gonna slowly make my way um, towards the tree
Okay.
and just take in my surroundings.
Okay, it doesn't take you long to get to the roots of the tree because it's only a few steps away. Um,
Okay.
but behind you, then you hear a giggle, and you you see the fairy as you turn around, and she says something in her little tiny voice again that you can't understand.
Okay. I'll um, touch my ear and shake my head so that she knows that I don't understand. But I'll give her a smile and a wave.
Okay. She kind of like touches her ears too, but you're not sure if she got the point. She sort of like does it in a dancing kind of way.
Okay. Then I'm gonna point to myself and say Rokas.
Okay. You hear her little voice say something. It sounds like a heavy accent, but it sounds like she's trying to say Rokus.
And I'll
She's tried
nod.
to repeat you.
I'll nod and point to myself again and say Rokas slowly and easily.
Okay. She repeats it. It sounds like Rokus.
And then I guess I'll am I still in the stream? Which is
You're
root?
at the edge. Did you want to step out where the roots were, or did you want to stay in the water?
No, I'll step out.
Okay. Yeah, there's a very small area where you can stand on the side with the roots, and it's like
Okay.
a cliff face basically. That you can't really, you can like shimmy to the left or right, but that's about it.
But I can go towards the tree.
The tree is like up a really really big. It's like very high up a cliff, probably like
Okay.
50 or 60 feet up or something.
So I'm in a pretty confined area
Yeah,
of
you're basically up against a wall of dirt when you're next to those roots.
how about on the other side?
So now your back is to the roots. You're looking out into the forest. You see like glowing crystals and some you see trees with strange colored leaves and like um there are some plants that seem to be growing crystals out of the plants and yeah, there's lots of strange colors that you wouldn't expect like um not just flowers and things, but like tree trunks are pink and purple, and you see all kinds of uh, in the trees. You can see different kinds of fruits that you're not familiar with, um, and yeah, do a perception check.
Okay. 16 plus 6. 22.
Okay, like very far in the distance, you can see some sort of like it kind of looks like a serpent that's like swimming through the air.
Hmm.
It doesn't look like it has wings or um any means to make it fly, but it's like kind of swimming through the air.
Okay. Um and I look to the fairy to see if she's looks like again like is she encouraging if I start to head that way? But I look to her for direct
She's kind of
word.
just watching you and smiling, and she looks very interested in you.
I guess I'll walk around then to the forest.
So you kind of have to get back into the water to
Yeah.
get over.
Okay.
Do
I'll
you
go
want to walk
across.
back into the water?
Sure.
Okay, let's cut back to Harbeck and Patricia, or sorry, Harbeck and Icy. So Icy, you just got dropped into the water. Bloosh. and Rokus is gone. Harvick, you hear this flash, so I'm guessing you'd turn around and see Rokus is gone.
Hey, I'll walk over to where I think Rokus disappeared.
Uh huh. So you see Icy there. Are you gonna stand up for?
I'll stand up.
Okay. So you're both standing right where he disappeared.
And looking around to see if there's anything different about this particular spot than any of the others.
No, it looks the same. You don't see anything strange.
The fairy has called him to wherever she is, or brought him there.
I'm not sure it was the fairy. I'm thinking more likely the tree, but either way. Um,
What do you do? Should we just wait and see if he reappears, or try and?
well, thinking the tree still. If the tree is the guy that got turned into a tree, which is, still think that's the case. Maybe he'd understand. Let me just try calling out to the tree. See if there's some way you can understand me. Try to let us know something.
Okay.
I'm trying to communicate with you. See if you can try to communicate with me.
So yeah, you do a few things trying to communicate, talking and doing other things, and you don't get any results. It just seems to be a
Okay.
tree, from what you can tell.
Hug the tree, and then the fairy appeared. Do we want to try that? Maybe.
Try it.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and hug the tree now too.
Okay. You hug the tree and nothing happens. Nothing strange.
She comes back into the water.
Yeah, you walk back into the water and nothing happens.
Oh, it's the fairy dust. Can I try to go back and see if there's any of that fairy dust still on the walkway?
Okay, sure. Yeah, you do. Let's see. I guess do a perception check to see if you can spot it.
Okay. Perception. 2 minus 1, 1.
Nope. You don't see any fairy dust.
Cookie, do you see any fairy dust?
Okay, have him. You can do
Wisdom,
a
isn't it?
roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Someone
Uh,
Rokus asked before if the fairy dust had any smell. I don't think we answered that, but I was gonna say it has some. It kind of smells like it doesn't smell like perfume, but it sort of smells like flowers, like a kind of very light scent. So Pookie might have a chance to smell it, so you can roll with advantage for his smell.
okay. Its smell is. Okay, smell is perception, is that right?
Yeah, for the dog it'll be wisdom, perception.
Be wisdom?
Yeah, he has perception
Okay,
+3. That's right.
Plus
plus
3 and
3.
advantage.
Yeah, +3 and
Okay,
advantage.
right. First one is 9 plus 3, 12. And the second is 7 plus 3, 10. So 12.
Okay, he's able to sniff some out. He points it out to you.
Okay. So I'm going to take that and See now, Rokus didn't do anything with it except,
Yeah,
I
he
thought
just
he
had it on
tasted
his.
it.
No, he didn't actually taste it. He put it on. It was on his hand.
yeah.
That's
So
all.
I'm gonna put a little on Pookie and a little on Icy hand as well. So we're
Okay.
trying to do exactly with it what Rokus did,
All right.
and then go back into the water.
Okay. I see. He's gonna put that on your hand. Okay.
Okay, I'll take a little bit.
Okay. Okay. You're all walking back into the water.
Yeah, we're walking back into the water.
I'm trying to go to the exact same spot where Rokus was.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys go back in the water, but nothing happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys continue to try to figure out what's going on, and it's been about an hour, and you still haven't seen Rokus. What do you want to do next?
See, what did Rokus do that we didn't?
Sure. He had a better role than us, but that was just in investigation, wasn't it?
That's true. I don't think we answered your question about the tree with your nature checks, actually. Um, from just to answer that, when you earlier went to look at the trees, you didn't. You just saw a healthy tree. You didn't see anything strange about it. But yeah, you're still there. Another another 30 minutes pass by of you guys thinking.
Use your nature check on the tree roots over there. See if you can get
Okay.
something off of that.
She basically did that already. Yeah, she just didn't. It was just a tree roots, as far as she can see.
She didn't do it with the tree in the middle of the room.
I think she also did it with the tree roots.
Okay. The
Yeah.
tree that's in the middle of the room, she did it with that as well.
I can't remember that one. If you want to do that, you could do that. You want to check out the
Okay.
other trees?
I got an 11 plus 3 for nature, 14.
Okay. The trees all seem normal, but yeah, you do notice that it seems like um the trees kind of seem pristine. Like they don't seem like they've been pruned or taken care of exactly. Like you don't see any marks of a gardener or something, but you don't see any like uh you know debris or anything that's fallen off of the trees or anything you'd expect if a garden was left alone, that there'd
Wait,
be a lot more stuff around.
are
But
any of those light things still around?
no, the lights disappeared when the fairy showed herself.
Like a manicured garden or park.
Yeah, it seems like it's been cleaned up in a way. Like you don't see anything um around other than the healthy plants. So it's a little bit weird in that respect. But you don't see any actual evidence of someone cleaning it up either. It just happens to be clean.
Something unreal about it. Like,
Yeah, you get that feeling that it's a bit strange.
should we go up top and see if maybe Rokus somehow went through the roots and is on the top, that's made it up to the ground where the actual tree is. Or should we stay here and keep looking around? I don't know what to do. Harbeck, what do you think?
Trying to think. I'm still trying to think what Rokus did that we didn't. That's why I thought the fairy dust might work.
Okay, so you think for a while, another 30 minutes passes, so it's been 2 hours since you saw Rokus. And then you hear a splash in the room, and you look over and you see Rokus standing in the middle. And he's like walking to the other side of the street.
Good to see you, Rokus. We were worried.
Now, Rokus, just to be clear, you only spent like a minute over there. So
Yeah.
that you guys are not really aware of this time discrepancy yet, but Rokus, you're under the impression that you just went in and came back out. So you go ahead and have a conversation.
For you for the,
I say, there's a forest. There's a forest there.
looking for you for the last 2 hours, trying to do whatever you did so we could join you.
Did you drink any of the water?
No.
Oh, that's still.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So after talking about it a bit, you come to that conclusion that Rokus, that was the one thing that he did differently.
There's
So let's see if all three of us take a swig and then see what happens. See if we go back to the place. It's probably now one of the things on that journal that we found says that the Eladrin have no concept of time. So it sounds like this place has no concept of time either.
Well, I was only in there for a minute or two, and then
And then you got back here and it had been 2 hours here. So
right.
was that twilight when you were there, or was it bright?
It looked like evening, if I remember.
Yeah, it was
Like twilight?
It was like a twilight look to it.
Yeah.
Okay, well the thing says, or the journal that we found says, Eladrin have no concept of time, and they say within the Fey world it is constant twilight. Time
Okay.
flows differently there, so that would be.
So if we spend much time there, it's going to be a lot of time in the other world.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind, so we don't come back years later.
Well, it says that again. I'm reading the thing. It says they tell me they stepped into the Fey world for a moment to cross the distance. Whatever the heck that means.
Well, I went up on the one side, and then apparently when I came back into the water to go across to the other side, I reappeared. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Okay, so Rokus, did you report like what you saw over there?
Yeah, describe it best I can.
Yeah, so yeah, he tells you about this strange forest that he saw, and mentions the weird serpent thing he saw, and the fairy was there.
Yeah, but she didn't tell me her name.
I'm looking at that journal we found, so I think think we can safely say that we stepped into the Phaland and back.
Yeah, it's called
I
the
did.
Fey Wild. Is the name.
A while.
Yeah.
Okay. And till we know more about it, I'm not sure that we really want to. And we're not sure. Maybe we're thinking possibly you have to drink the water in order to go into the
Into the
Phaland
Fey
there.
world.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure you humans and dwarfs can get there. Maybe being a moon elf helps me.
That's a possibility. I think we need to find more out about it before we venture
Before we
around.
go back?
Well, the problem is there's no concept of time. I'd hate for it to be, you go in and then it's going to be 300 years before you come back out again.
Yeah.
You
What do you think?
see, what time would it be now that we've been?
Said it had been 3 hours, I think.
It was two. Rokus was gone for 2 hours.
Right. Well, and we've spent a lot of time, trying to figure out and going into the rooms and stuff like that too. So I'm not sure.
You want to know
Time
the
is-
time of day now?
Yeah.
We'll say the the previous session started in the morning, so I think it's late. It's getting into the late afternoon, I guess.
What do you think we should do about the demon hand?
Okay, I would say go back into the room and see if there's anything in the sarcophagi that are there. We haven't inspected them yet. Might be something in there we could talk to.
Okay.
And then by that time, it probably would be late enough. We could try to do a long sleep somewhere and have Icy be able to talk to plants. Hopefully, she can talk to the tree and get an idea of what's going on.
I'm good with that. How about you, Rokus?
Sure.
All right. So did you say you wanted to go look at the sarcophagi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if there's any inscriptions or if the lids can come off or.
All right. So you're gonna walk through this door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you get back into the mural room, the door closes behind you, and the little circles, I forgot what I was calling them before, the images, they go back into the mural. You're able to replace the images to open the door again on the other side and go into the room with the sarcophagi.
Okay.
There
I'd like to
are
inspect
3 on either side.
6
6
total.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to go and inspect each one.
Okay. The sarcophagi itself, they are themselves are like made of some kind of stone, and they are yeah, Harvick as a dwarf, you're like, it looks kind of like granite, but it has some properties of it that are a little strange. Like coloring and texture. It's a little different than what you would expect. But they're designed with elven like leaves and vine patterns, and they have names written in Elvish on them.
Each one. Okay, Richie can read Elvish, right? Or
Yeah,
Rokus, rather.
he read them before, so he recognized them as Elvish names, but nobody he's ever heard of.
Okay. Okay. And then,
Or maybe does Rokas need to do a history check to see if these names have any significance?
Sure.
Should I roll?
Yeah, Rokus tells you the names. I'll just say, yeah, you guys aren't familiar with these.
Do we want? Can we lift the lids off, or should we even do
okay.
that?
Wait a minute. What are you going to do? I see. Sorry, I didn't catch that. What do you want to do?
I was just wondering, do we want to lift the lids or maybe not?
Before we do that, I want to lift the lid, but I think before I do that, I've got that spell will determine whether it's evil or not.
Divine
The
sense, I
divine
think you want.
sense. Yeah. Let me
Okay,
do that on
that
the sarcophagi first.
okay. So just remember, it doesn't go through surfaces and things, so you can only just do the sarcophagi itself. Okay, yeah.
Right.
You don't get any readings from the sarcophagi.
All right. Let's open one up then and see what's in it.
Okay.
Would be my suggestion.
Okay, so we carefully remove the lids very slowly and a little at a time.
All right. You're able to lift one up and see inside, and it seems that there's a mummy, basically, of an looks like an elf. Um, the elf is wearing some armor and has a sword in his hand. The armor and sword, they're nicely designed, uh, but they don't seem to be um, anything, you know, super useful to you guys. Doesn't look like a magic sword or anything like that. But it's wearing sword and armor. But inside, the body itself is like kind of wrapped up like a mummy and preserved.
Think we should replace the lid?
Oh, wait a minute. Can we do an investigation on it just to check it out? In
Sure.
particular,
Did you want to use your divine sense? Because you had mentioned that.
yeah, I've got one more left. I'll try that.
Okay.
It's my last
So
one.
yeah, it
Yes.
doesn't come out as undead or evil or good. It's just a yeah. It's just like look registering like an object basically. So you don't think that it's alive in any way.
Okay. And there's nothing in the terms of writing or anything like that.
No, nothing special inside there. You can do an investigation if you wanna look at it.
Any possessions?
Yeah, he said armor and swords.
Yeah, that's all you'll
Seven
see
plus
there.
investigation was 7 + 1, 8.
Yeah, you don't see anything really notable. Just the swearing armor and has a sword.
And there's nothing else in the
Yeah, you don't see
nothing
anything
else
else.
in the room.
Is the armor good quality?
Yeah, it's good quality. It doesn't look like anything that would be more useful. It doesn't look like something that you'd wanna use yourself.
Okay.
Um,
Or sell?
well, You think it could be valuable to sell it possibly, but that's up to
No,
you.
I would leave them.
We don't want to loot.
I think
Great.
those guys might be guarding the hand, so I would not do anything to
They're
make them less.
they're not undead though, so they can't reanimate.
Uh, it
The lid up,
might be a different kind of undead.
Well, if
Harvick.
you think it's
Now that
gonna,
we have the lid off, can you detect whether it's good or evil?
He
is
did
that
that
just
as part of the spell.
They
is
didn't
this an
get any.
object? If you
It,
think that you think it's gonna protect the hand, as in protect it from
no,
somebody.
I think they're keeping the hand from being able to go somewhere.
Okay, so they're restraining the hand.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. Though we know the hand's evil, we know they're not. So I wouldn't do anything that would to disturb them to the end of it
Now,
might help the hand.
how's the hand? How's the hand contained?
It's in a
It's in a separate room and it's floating above the pedestal. It doesn't visibly seem to be contained in anything. And you haven't really
Right? When I
approached it
cast
to
a
mess with
spell
it.
on evil, when I cast that spell on it to see if
It
it's evil
was
or not, that was
it was
so
very
evil.
yeah.
So to me, that says that's probably a bad dude, and we need to find out more about it before we try to deal with it. In my opinion,
I think I think we should try to figure out how to submerge it in holy water.
I think we should find out more about it before we try to do something with that like that.
Well, find a way.
Oh, I would like. I'm thinking we do a long rest. We can get Icy to do the talk to trees,
Yeah.
and then
You,
we can try.
can you make holy water?
Yes, I can.
I don't think. Do you have the silver, powdered silver though?
I don't have the powdered silver. I do have silver that we could powder.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't have. You're not proficient with like alchemy supplies, so you wouldn't know how to do that like into actual powder.
Okay, so we'd have to go back to have to go back to town to get the alchemist to do that. Maybe then.
Okay. How much holy water do we have?
Right now, let me check. I think I have 2 vials of it.
How about you, Icy?
being under equipment.
Got 1 flask. Why are you so sure holy water is going to work on it?
Because it's a demon. They don't like holy water.
I'm
Even
liking it and having it do something to them are 2 different things.
well,
One holy water. I have a flask of holy water. One
when we
flask.
when we fought the vampire, holy water hurt it. So
Yeah,
if
but
it
this
hurt,
thing is.
it'll hurt it even worse. I'm pretty sure fire won't hurt it.
I agree with that. I think we need more information before we start.
Fine.
Okay, so we think that these fellows in the are containing the hand. So if we think that's why the hand is staying in that room, that's our hypotheses. Do we want to go upstairs? I mean, go up, back up to Earth, where the villagers are, see if they know anything. And then take a long rest and decide if we're going to go back in and attack the 6-fingered hand, or if we're going to go back to Neverwinter and go to the House of Knowledge and see if we can get more information and also get other supplies that we would need.
Yeah.
That would take a while. So I
Oh,
think
we were talking about doing an interlude anyway.
Okay. So you guys walk. Are you okay to walk back into the mural room while you're talking?
yes.
Um. So I think the villagers had been with you guys for a while. They have
Yeah.
during the 2 hours they went back upstairs, so they're not down here anymore. Um.
Okay.
They said they wanted to go talk and tell their the other villagers what you guys had found, and so they've been up there for a while.
I'd say go up and talk to the villagers and take a long rest.
Okay.
Okay, then that's what we'll do.
Okay.
So
So
we're
you
already
guys,
down on spells, and we don't have all our hit points. If we're going to deal with the hand, I'd want to have it on full.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Okay. So you guys walk up all the stairs, climb up the ladder, and all that, and you get up to the surface, and the elves are there in the center of the They're actually they're kind of they've put stuff back in order in the temple, and they're discussing things in there.
Okay.
When you come up, you hear them saying, uh, I don't mind working with those in Neverwinter, but I hope that we can get some, you know, maybe some special condition that lets us stay independent in some way." And the other guy
Okay.
says, "I don't. That doesn't sound like how lords usually work. They always want you to pay taxes and follow their rules. I wouldn't think that they would allow us to, just live peacefully while also protecting us." And then,
I would say the fruit would be your taxes. So we've already talked about that.
yeah, another villager chimes in with that. He says, "They said we could probably do some bartering with the fruit." And another one says, I don't like this. I don't
Well,
like the
wait.
idea of selling our fruit." And another one says, "Oh, it's not selling the fruit. We're just like trying to, buy, you know, give
Well,
something
now,
to them that will help, so that they'll help us." And they're all like giving out their opinions
right. Let me
about
ask
it.
them a question. You guys trust now? Birchbow is already in town, right?
Yeah, he's the one who's in Neverwinter.
Right. All right. Do you people trust Birchbow?
And they look around and say, "Yeah, sure."
Okay, how about this? When we are talking to the different people in the town about this, how about we will have Birchbow with us, and he will make the decisions as to whether or not you would agree on it. Would you let him be your spokesman?
They talk amongst themselves for a bit, and they say, "That seems reasonable." But you can you let him know what we are thinking. We'll send you our ideas that you can
Okay,
tell
yeah,
them.
write them down. Yeah, write them down, and I will give them to Birchbow. And then when there are a number of places we want to talk to, not the Lord and the Lord Justicator and the you said you would trust the nature place more.
Emerald Enclave, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we can talk. We'll talk to different areas, and we'll have Birchbow with us so that he can decide what he likes and doesn't like.
Yeah.
Now,
He can be your spokesman.
Zarafin is a ladron.
Supposedly.
If he really is, then he may be able or willing to help protect the village.
Maybe, but he also works for the company. So we have to tread that very carefully.
Well, I think we should.
That's a possibility. Again, that's what I'm saying is we don't have enough. They reasonably they are still a little bit apprehensive because we haven't made a deal or anything. So I'm saying go back to town, get a hold of Birchbow, and then we can talk to all sorts of people, and including him.
So
Okay.
when you guys when you guys mentioned Seraphim in the ATC, like a few of the villagers are like, nah, that sounds dangerous. Like, the
I'm agreeing. I'm
especially
agreeing with the
what
villagers there.
especially what you said about the, we didn't think much of it, the ATC originally, but now that you've come and told us more information, it sounds like there's a good possibility that they could have been the ones who um sent these cultists here.
And
If
I'm on the
Seraphim
villagers
finds
side
out
for that.
I mean, I don't know if the ATC is gonna come back soon, but that's one of our main things is we basically don't want them to come back. Um, who knows what they're gonna come back with next time?
I'm on the villagers side. I agree with that totally.
Some of the other villagers says, well, we don't really know if it was the ATC, but yeah, we're trying to limit the number of outsiders coming in here because the more people who know about this place, and especially now that you've unearthed all these secrets under that, they came back up and they've already been talking about it for about 2 hours or something. So
Yeah.
they know, the other villagers told them about the hand and the weird forest thing. And I guess, are you gonna share about the Fey crossing thing?
Yes.
Okay, so now they know that, and they're like, okay, this place is even more important than we ever thought it was. Um, uh, and so they're like, yeah, originally we just wanted to have a peaceful place in nature with these, fruitful trees and lush environment that we could enjoy our life in peace here. But I feel like we've come to realize this is something even more precious to the world, that, well, we really need to make sure that civilization doesn't encroach into this area. Like, we need to
I
find someone who
agree.
protects us properly.
I agree. That's what. But you're gonna need help, and the only I know of to go to get help is to go to town at Birchbow and talk to different people and see what we can do.
Um, so the conversation
Unless you
goes
have,
on.
unless you know of, do you know another place you could go to look for help besides Neverember? Is there another place that you can think of that you could go and ask for help?
They talk about it for a bit and they don't really come up with any good ideas. It sounds like from their discussion that there's a city up north of Neverwinter called Luskin, but um they in the past have been pretty they're like warmongers basically. So they don't have a high opinion of those guys. And the other settlements nearby are mostly like small ranches and farming towns and stuff. So Neverwinter's the closest powerful entity that they can think of. Um, and I was gonna say something else.
We tell them about the six-fingered hand and the sarcophaguses.
They were aware of that.
Yeah, they
Okay.
they know pretty much what's going on there. They think that they're very worried about that. They they're they were like happy to hear about the forest part. They think, wow, so amazing that we have this kind of place down there. But hearing about the hand and everything is scaring them. They're
Sure.
like, we have no idea what to think about that. That's way beyond anything that we've ever
Yeah.
experienced. If it's taking care of this tree and everything, we can do a good job with that. But um, I don't know about this hand. Um, so these villagers, none of them are particularly, none of them have really studied history or anything. So they know even less than you guys pretty much about um, ancient history. So they have nothing to add for that stuff. The conversation gets around to um, again to how they can deal with lords. They're not familiar with it, and they are talking about, they're confused about how things work with lords offering protection. They seem to think like there's no way that they're gonna get any kind of special treatment or rules that would allow them to live peacefully. A couple of them said that they think if you guys work with the different groups, that might be okay. But since Harvick, since you're a lord, you might be able to add some insight what you think could be done. They're kind of asking around. They don't really know that you're a lord, but they're talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Um, I would say lords are like peoples. You know, some are not very good, some are good. Some will. Now, I happen to be a paladin, and one of the nice things about dealing with paladins is their word is their bond. So one of the things we can do is again, form sort of a coalition. So yeah, we probably want Lord Neverember involved in this, but also if the Lord Justicator and the Emerald, is it the Emerald Enclave?
Enclave.
Enclave, we can talk to them as well. Come
Okay.
up with some sort of a coalition would be my suggestion.
After talking about that, they start asking you, like, do you think Neverember is trustworthy?
I think he is, but I'd want to do more. He's not evil. I don't know enough about his history. I can go back and find out.
Mm-hmm.
But to my knowledge, he has always been fairly straight in terms of his dealings and such. I don't know of anything.
Yeah, I think you did some
Right.
minor looking into his stuff, and you didn't find anything, um,
Yeah,
any evidence of him doing anything
right.
wrong, really.
Yeah, I've never seen. I don't know of any time he broke his word or anything like that.
So one of the villagers says something like, uh, I think if the Lord, as long as he doesn't want to take advantage of what we have here, he should probably at least um want to keep it out of the hands of someone dangerous. He might give us some leeway and help us to keep this place a secret.
Now, I would I would say that Lord Neverember is probably a better one, just because we know he does not like the ATC,
Hmm. You
because
actually do
it's run
know,
by,
you know
one of
that
his enemies.
from talking with Rokus, you also know the Emerald Enclave is in opposition to ATC as well. Because
So,
remember they sent you to, one of the reasons they sent you here was to possibly get evidence against
right,
ATC.
right. So sort of,
And yeah, as far as the Church of
the enemy
Tyr,
of my enemy is my friend.
yeah, the Church of Tyr also, they don't have anything particularly against ATC, but you know that, as a paladin, that upholding like justice and everything is your primary thing. So
Well, I
that
think as a paladin also that purple hand down there is something they'd be very interested in trying to deal with.
yeah, that's right. Okay, so you talk with them for at least an hour, and you you come to a pretty good understanding of what they want to do, which is basically they're fine with uh, using the fruit as a some kind of uh, the
Something
word
for
is
bartering.
escaping me. Yeah, bartering basically something to that they can provide. Um,
In
and
order to
yeah,
get protection in return.
right. They mainly want protection. They want there's they're they don't seem to be able to come to a really good decision on how much outside like interference that they want to deal with to stay protected. They do seem pretty adamant about keeping their independence. They don't want to have like someone building a wall around the place or
Right.
troops patrolling. Um, but they want to basically. It sounds like they're hoping to be turned into a reservation of sorts
Yep.
that has special designation basically that that would be under someone's protection so that people can't just walk up in and terrorize them.
Yep.
But yeah, they're pretty adamant against like, oh, we definitely don't want someone building a wall around the place or anything like that.
Right.
They don't want to develop the forest in order to be safer.
Right.
But yeah, so you basically uh they write down a list of their feelings and stuff for you to
Right.
give to Norin. So you have a reference guide for what the village is okay with.
Right.
So when you go back, you'll be able to reference that. So
Right.
you could
Okay.
put that in your equipment, just like um just letter from Torralei, I guess you could write it as. Yeah. Okay. So did you guys wanna? It's getting into the evening. Do you wanna do your long rest?
I would say yes, and get have um, Icy uh, at her ability to talk to plants, so we can talk to the tree.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I see. Alright, if you're okay with swapping your spell out, you can do that during the long rest.
Which spell do I want to swap out?
Uh, Harvick was suggesting you do that. You take speak with plants. Let me see if
I have no idea what she has to swap it out for, or what she wants to swap it out for.
yeah. Let me. I'm looking it up.
I think speak with plants is a third level spell, right?
It's a higher one, yeah. Yeah. Speak with
Yeah, I
plants
think
is
I
third
looked it
level.
up.
You have third level abilities?
Yeah, she's a primary spellcaster, so she
Yeah.
levels up her magic faster than
Okay.
Rokus and Harvick. You're both
Yeah, we're
like
both two too. Yep.
yeah, you're like melee slash spellcasters. Yeah, so you have a bunch of third level spells that you can unprepare.
The daylight one maybe because I already have like the fireball, so
Daylight.
I
That
think
so
I'll
that
take
one's
up.
actually you can't unprepare that one. Oh, let me see, because that's from your. Okay, there's only one that you can do is protection from energy. You have to swap that one out. Is that okay with you?
Sure. Can you do that, or how do I go
I
about
can
doing
do
that?
it, but you'd have to refresh afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it. Uh, there.
do refresh.
Yeah, hold on. I'll refresh first and see if it works. Yeah. Okay, you should be able to refresh now.
I think I did. Let me see.
And then scroll down to your 3rd level spells. You should see it there. It's alphabetical order, so it's at the bottom. Speak with plants.
So we should take a long rest now?
Yeah, everyone can click their long rest button. You guys go to sleep in Norin Birchbow's cabin and able to safely pass the night. And you wake up, you still don't feel hungry because you ate that fruit yesterday.
And then I would suggest Icy see if she can talk to the Torralei tree there.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna cast a spell.
I'm going to cast the spell, so I've got to hit cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you cast the spell and you are now kind of linked to the tree. You can feel a different magical connection between you and the tree right now. So you're able to speak through to it.
What have you noticed in the last little while? Who's been here, what they've done, um, and the circumstances in relationship to what's been going on here in Torralei?
Okay. After you talk to it, you hear back a very slow, deep voice in your mind. It says, "Oh, there are beings around me who tend to me. They water me. There are squirrels in my branches. My fruit is blooming. And the weather is beautiful. The rains fall upon my leaves. My roots drink from the stream below the ground."
Down below where your roots are, we Rokas went into a fairyland. Fairy. What do you know about that?
So as you say that, it doesn't seem to get what you mean about the Feywild. Um, so it kind of asks you, yeah, what is this Feywild?
Sort of a magical air place inhabited with fairies and pixies, and yeah.
There is a world of my twin. I feel the duality.
Duality good?
I feel comfort.
Tree. Did you notice where the attackers came from that attacked the villagers?
The beings around me were unhappy, but now they seem at peace again. he's not able to tell you any direct information about where they came from, really. Um, he says that they seem to come and go from the just like all over the village, basically.
How long does this spell last?
10 minutes.
It only, yeah, spell area within the past day. Gain information about creatures and that have passed other in other circumstances.
Oh. Ask him, when was he planted, or when, how did he come to be here?
Can you give me your history?
So he doesn't understand about time really. He just says the the sun and moon have circled many times, um, and that he's stood here for a long time, and
You,
so has his twin.
you remember when he was a seed?
Um, he doesn't seem to remember that like growing up here.
Who is your twin?
You spoke of the other world. There
Can you
is
tell me
another
more?
like me.
And where is the other like you located? And can you give me information about it?
I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, myself, my twin, we are together here. I on one side and he on the other.
I saw the other tree. It's just there.
Yeah, Ruckus, the distance that you saw looking up the cliff face to where the
Uh,
tree stood is like you could estimate that it was about how much climbing up the stairs out of the down in the temples, that
right,
it's about that high up, so you feel like the tree's probably in the same location on the other side.
right. Just no temple in between.
Right, and you saw like um everything that was in that room down there, the stream and stuff, that stuff was like exactly the same. It was sort of like that little room was cut out of that forest.
Right,
It was like exactly the same. You at first you didn't notice that you had um gone over.
right. So that little forest room exists in both, pretty much in both.
Yeah. So Rokus shares that with you guys,
Okay.
as you
Is
share
there
with
any other
him what the
questions
tree
you guys?
says.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like me to ask the tree? Rich, Arbeck?
Does he know about the garden in the other room down there? The room that's next to where his roots are?
Do you know anything about the room next to the roots where there's the fingered hand?
No. So when he talks about his roots, he describes the stream. It seems like he has some awareness of that little area there, but he doesn't seem to know much beyond where his roots are touching. And he doesn't even really respond about the hand. He doesn't seem to know what you're talking about at all. Like, also, when he talks
what about the
about,
little garden?
yeah, he doesn't seem to know about the garden. And when he
Okay.
talks about the elves and the people, he doesn't seem to know the difference between any of them. He doesn't know what elves are. He doesn't. He just calls them beings.
They're just beings.
I'd like to go back down and have her talk to that tree that was in the center of the garden. On Richie hugged, or Rokus hugged.
Sure.
Thank you for your information. Okay, we're gonna head down the temple.
All right, you only have one more third level slot, so you can only do this one more time today.
Okay.
So do you want to do it with that tree there?
Sure.
Okay. So you go down into the temple and find that's the largest tree in the garden room, the one in the center, and you want to do the spell on it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you cast a spell and it answers you in a similar slow voice. This one has a different kind of pitch to it, but it sounds similar. It says, "Greetings. Anything you
Give
want
us
to ask it?"
yeah. Can you give us information of what has been going on down here, and yeah, just any information about what has transpired down here.
Okay, it says, the little ones come and go. I get light from the sky, and my roots drink deeply from the soil.
Sky down here.
Yeah, it says it gets light from the sky.
When we look up, what do we see?
You see it kind of looks like it kind of looks like a twilight sky, but it's kind of painted onto the ceiling, and it is illuminating. It's kind of letting light down. It's glowing because similar to the other stone that you had encountered was glowing. It's glowing a little bit stronger actually, but yeah, it's actually putting light out for the tree. But it's not actually a sky when you look up. It has like a twinkly, looks kind of like stone, purpley bluish stone with specks of like sparkly minerals, I guess.
You know about the little people that fly around you.
The little ones, they help me to grow well. They tend to my leaves and branches.
What about the lights that merged together to form a body?
Um, hmm. Unusual. He doesn't seem to know anything about it.
Do you know anything about the six-fingered creature on the other side of the door?
So yeah, it responds similarly to the other tree. It doesn't seem to really get what you're talking about.
How did you get here?
I've been here for a long time. And so have my brothers and sisters.
Have there been other people down here like us?
Hmm. Beings like you. So long ago. Doesn't seem to as you ask questions about the ancient elves and such, it doesn't seem to really have anything useful to say, but it does seem like it remembers there were people here before.
Do they remember the name Jeleneth Gemflower?
That's the author of the book that you found?
Yeah.
No, the tree doesn't respond to it. It doesn't seem to have any recollection of that name. Doesn't trigger anything.
You related to the Torralei tree on the upper surface?
My cousin, not of not connection with me, but a cousin. So it's using some words in a strange way that you don't really. It's not really easy to get what it's talking about, but it seems like it has called some of the trees brothers and sisters, and the Torralei tree a cousin. But you're not sure exactly what that means.
Questions? Is there any more information you could give us that would be helpful?
He just talks about his branches and leaves and roots and um he kind of repeats a lot of stuff. So yeah, doesn't seem like it knows much about what people are trying to accomplish. Things like that. It can only really tell you who has come and gone and such things, like recently. So it kind of actually talks about you guys showing up and the fairy interacting with you a little bit, but it's all kind of vague. It doesn't really seem to know what you guys want to do, or if you just as you kind of describe it, it doesn't seem to really get um your the idea of goals and wants and needs and desires other than drinking water and such.
we want to go and attack the hander.
So I see ends up with the tree and just turns around like, I don't know, let's go kill the hands. This tree is annoying.
The tree.
I don't
Well,
like
no.
screwing with the hand right now.
Okay.
Yeah, your protect from energy spells may be useful in fighting the hand too. Yeah.
I'd like to go back to town.
To Neverwinter?
Yeah, 'cause we can do some negotiations, and Ian suggested, or our God suggested, maybe we should take some time. And one of the things I can do is try to get information about the. I think that hand might be the demon lord Grazit, or however you pronounce that.
Yeah,
To get
Grost.
some more information about that and how to fight demons.
Yeah, so Harvey is out of game talking about so yeah, I said I think once you're done wrapping up the things you have been doing, like the quests you have done, there's still like some loose ends with the vampire one that you didn't get all the like aftermath and stuff. But yeah, you guys have pretty much gone through all the quests that we had lined up, and I think it'd be good for you guys to you guys could do some training or research or whatever kind of downtime activities to pass the time until something interesting happens. We can kind of, once you get to town and you get settled down, we can talk about what you want to do while passing the time and what kind of things you want to look out for, that you don't miss out on some, you know, events or things. So, like, obviously, like, if some necromancers came to town and started building a tower in the middle of the city, you guys would do something about it. So, we're not going to just time skip past something like that, right? So, you guys can
Yeah.
tell me what kind of things you specifically want to make sure doesn't happen during your downtime, and we can talk about how much time passes before anything significant happens. So yeah, you could do research on these things that Harvick's talking about that he wants to research could be done during that time. Icy, you wanted to say something?
And the fact that we're going to be negotiating with the fruit, we'll at least know what's going on in Torralei.
Yeah, you could. We can have you guys deal with that stuff before the time skip. But yeah, for downtime activities, you guys will have you roll dice to figure out how successful different things you attempt to do are. And there's a I can once we get to that point, I'll let you know your options for what you can do.
Okay, so we're not going to try and rid them of this hand. We're hoping that it's being contained.
Okay. Seems to be. It's been done it for a long time.
Yeah. We're the only ones to know how to open the door. I don't think the villagers are likely to mess with it.
Yeah.
Especially if we tell them not
Okay,
to.
well, we'll tell them not to.
Tell them we think it's dangerous.
Yeah, do you want to go up and talk to them again now, or continue talking down?
Yeah. I'd say let's go up and talk to the villagers.
Okay. So, do you want anything new you want to share with them?
Just tell them that we think the hand's really dangerous, so don't mess with it. And
Yeah, they agree, and they don't want to mess
Well-
with it.
right, and that we'll be we'll be doing our negotiations with the different parts of the Neverwinter, and we will give Birch, whatever his name is,
Birchbow.
Birchbow.
Yeah, Birchbow. We'll give him the writings, the letters that you sent. That we've
Yeah.
got now. We'll give those to him, and
Okay.
he will be involved with our negotiations.
Cool. Yeah, and then it's written in their thing, but they're stressing now. They're like, we please, use discretion when you're talking about the village too. Like, yeah, those groups you're talking about sounds like they're trustworthy and stuff, but you know, please be careful who you just tell these
Blab
things
around
to.
town.
Yeah,
Right.
don't tell anybody else, and probably even within those organizations, like don't just
Well,
tell the doorman or something.
well, yeah. So, okay, what I would do, I guess, as a lord, I'd be the one to talk to Lord Neverember, and as a paladin, I'd be the one to talk to the Lord Justicator. And then I guess if is there a head honcho for the Emerald Enclave?
There's the worker that they're familiar with who was there.
Okay, I'll let Rokus and Icy deal with the Emerald Enclave because they know that better than I do. But I will limit my conversations to Lord Neverember and the Lord Justicator, and I will ask them not to talk to anybody else until we actually have a deal.
Okay, they seem happy with that. Okay, so you passed an evening. You went down and talked for a little while. It didn't take too long, so it's still early morning now. Did you want to head back to town now, or anything else you want to do in the village?
I would say head back to town, and although I asked Rokus and Icy if they, what they think.
Okay.
Sure, we'll gather up some of the fruit. I'll turn into a horse, and Harvick can get on his and on ice on the ox beak, and we can head back. Sound like a plan?
Does the axe beak like the fruit, by the way?
I don't think you've tried to feed it, but you can try that if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he eats it. He seems to like it.
Good. And I'll spend time
He's a-
with him.
Okay.
Yeah, the ox beak gets much happier when he's fed.
Yeah. Cool. So you give
Might
him
as
some
well scarf
attention.
one down.
Yeah.
I'll scarf one down too. No sense in wasting rations if you don't have to.
Oh yeah, you know that you don't you're still not even hungry because you ate one yesterday. But you can take
Okay,
some. They give you a bag full. We'll say
good.
there's we'll say there's 10 fruits in there.
Okay, because we're going to want to show some to the different places we're going.
Yeah, and you know they'll stay good for about a week or so.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna saddle up and head out.
Sounds good to me.
Okie doke.
Okay. So you just gonna say goodbye to everybody. Anything you want to say in particular as you're leaving?
If you need help of any kind, please get a message to us. What is the place we're staying at again?
In town, you guys were at the um Bard's Tale, wasn't it?
Style, yeah.
Well, I'm at the Driftwood Tavern.
Okay. And they say they know about the Emerald Enclave from Norin talking about it. So they have a couple ways to get intact if they
Or you
run
want
to
to leave a
town.
message and we'll go check?
Yeah, they say if one of them has to get to town, they'll remember those places to look for you.
Well,
Yeah.
also, I will leave a message at the guardhouse.
Okay.
And
That
where you can,
anyone from there shows up, they have to immediately come contact me.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you guys know that they don't have papers and stuff, so they won't be able to just go into town. They'll have to send messages from the Freeland district.
Oh no, what I'm going to do is tell the guards at the gate
Yeah.
that any of them show up, they have to immediately come get me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's so that they understand that, so they'll contact the guards.
Well,
I was just thinking about Norin. What he had to do was a bit more complicated because he couldn't go directly to the Emerald Enclave. He had to like get a message over there.
Yeah.
right.
Okay, cool. Anything else? You ready to go?
All right. We're ready to go.
Okay. So yeah, the villagers say we will definitely we'll keep everything locked up and closed, and make sure if anybody comes, we're gonna do our best to keep people out. Like we're not gonna just let people march into the temple again, even if we are not fighters, but we're not gonna let them do that again.
Okay.
Oh. Wish you good luck.
Okay, cool. So you guys are able to leave. It's the morning of day 42.
Okay.
And then let me check how long it took you to get there.
Most
I think it was a day and a half or something.
Yeah.
And it was a little slower because Ruckus got lost.
Should I roll to see how well I get them through?
Yeah, so let's have Ruckus, you do a survival check to get him out of the forest.
Also, I want Pookie needs to be going ahead
Huh?
of us.
Yeah. Sure, good. That's good to note.
If he sees, smells, or hears anything, he can let me know immediately there's something up ahead.
Okay, so he's like running ahead of Rokus and then checking back with Rokus because Rokus is kind of helping lead the way.
Right.
But he's staying ahead of you too, running
I rolled
around.
an 18 plus 6, so
Okay,
we got
so you're able to get out of the forest in a few hours instead of half of a morning, half of the day or whatever. So you know that it should take you a day to get near to Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Then you'll have to camp outside unless you want to push it. You can push your pace with the chance of getting a little bit exhausted. But
If that doesn't take us to town, there's no reason to do that.
if you pushed it, you could get to town. And taking a long rest would be able to reset your exhaustion. But if you encountered some kind of enemy after becoming exhausted, it would put you at it would be more difficult to fight or do stuff in the evening. But it's up to you.
Let's just camp.
Yeah.
Camp out in some fresh air.
Yeah,
Do we have to?
Rokus and Icy are especially fine with camping.
Okay.
Because you guys are probably prefer camping.
And
Just have to adjust.
does the axe beak have any like um as any attributes as far as um being
Start
aware?
squawking. Start
Yeah,
squawking if there's something it doesn't like.
yeah.
Um, I don't know exactly what you mean there. It's like, are you talking
Right.
about a stat sheet or something?
I'm just wondering if it is around. If an enemy came up, would it be aware of it? Would it react? Would
Yeah, it
we?
would react. As far you haven't like trained it to do anything, and you don't know of it having any training specifically, so you don't know of any like special things it would do. But as an
Okay,
animal, you would know that it probably react in some way, just as an
okay,
animal.
okay.
But you don't know, you don't have any yeah,
Well,
connection with it that you would know
okay,
something to look for, I guess. Yeah, that's if we go through some downtime, we could have you train with your X-Beak to do something in particular if you wanted.
okay. Sure.
Okay, now, so when we're camping, we're out of the woods, so we're on that north-south road that goes toward Neverwinter.
Yeah, that's right. So you're camping nearby the road.
Okay,
So yeah, you
we
pass
can
through the day and nothing special happens. And you don't really see any travelers actually. You get down nearby and there's a nice place to camp up on a hill, and you're able to um, set up camp. And let's everybody do a perception check to see. You can do them all at the same time. It's fine. See if anything happens.
Perception.
Yeah.
11 plus 4, 15 total.
I got 15 total.
I have 19 minus 1, 18.
Okay. So you all keep
And
watch pretty well. Um, and you don't see anything come by. Nothing interesting.
okay,
And yeah, the
Okay.
X-Beak and Pookie are patrolling around or keeping an eye out, and they don't
now,
even say anything.
yeah, with Pookie and Rokus, we don't have to take turns, do we? Isn't Pookie and Rokus enough for the rest of us sleep?
Yeah. Right now you're not really in hostile territory, so
Right.
yeah, I
I mean,
don't.
if we were, we
Yeah.
wouldn't have to.
If we have you go into some more hostile area that you haven't been to before, we'll have you do a more serious um
Okay,
setup. But yeah, Pookie can stay up all night, and Rokus can pretty much keep watch all the time.
right. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
Okay, cool. So the next morning it's day 43, and you're able to get back into town. So you enter. Uh, which which gate did you want to go into? Any place? Where did you want to head to first?
Um,
We left out of the north gate, didn't we?
Yeah, there's two northern ones though, northeast and one northwest.
yeah, yeah, so the high road, the one that the high road goes directly into.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the other gate. I don't know if Rokus wants to or not. The other gate is right by the stable.
Yeah.
So
So you actually you probably gonna you know that you can't just have your axe beak at whatever place. So Yeah, you probably gonna want to take it over to the stables.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the map now. So we might want to go through that gate then, just
Yeah,
so we can put the X-Beak, get him all up and everything.
yeah.
Do they have a like a special sort of a spot for him that would be like maybe cost a little extra but nicer?
Mm, not really. They have the same place they were keeping him before. Um, that seems suited to him.
Okay. I would talk to him in Orc and try to comfort him.
Okay, he seems to be fine. Um, you did notice he got a little more nervous getting back into the city again, like reacting to people walking by and stuff.
Hmm.
But he seems to once you get him in the enclosure, he seems to be okay. He's not like distracted or bothered by the others around.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you the owner uh Rogar is fine with keeping him there, and he'll charge you the normal price for stables and stuff.
Okay.
We can deal with the price whenever you take them out.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are at the stables. Where do you want to head next?
Do we want to maybe go to the House of Knowledge and do some research?
Uh,
Um,
yeah, that's one we talked about that. I think we were okay with doing that during the downtime part.
yeah.
Okay.
So I guess like out of game, you guys can focus on kind of wrapping up the quests that you had open. So you had your go to Torralei quest, and you had the vampire thing that you haven't found the end of. Um, you can deal with the Torralei stuff, the bartering or whatever with the three groups. But other than that, you're not gonna find any new quests or new things to buy,
Okay.
anything new going on in the city until after we do the downtime stuff.
Okay. Now, in my notes, we already got 500 gold pieces for the vampire reward.
Yeah.
What other part of the quest are we missing?
Just if you want to check in and find out what other information you had
Okay.
asked them to look into where things had come from and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So they
Right.
can get.
Okay.
It's been a couple days, so if you want to go ask them about that stuff, they might have some information about that.
Okay. And then the only other quest is so somebody has to go to the Emerald Enclave to get the loot from that.
Yeah, you can
We
get your
want to.
reward from Emerald Enclave, and then you have the three factions that
Right.
you were supposed to talk to about the Torrelay
Right.
deal.
Yep. Yep. And then
Once you've done all that, we'll start talking about downtime.
Okay, and one
sounds
of the
good.
things at the Emerald Enclave, I'd like to take the freshly minted coins from that the ACT we suspect, show them that, um, see if they consider that a connection between the ACT and what was going on at Torralei.
Okay, so you want to head there first?
Okay. I suggest we split up. And while they're going to the Emerald Enclave, I will do some of my stuff.
Yeah. So Harbeck, you know, the easiest one to get to quickly would be the Church of Tyr, the Hall of Justice. You can just walk right
Right.
in there and do your business.
Yep.
To deal with Neverwinter, you have to make some kind of appointment. So,
Yep. Yep.
and you expect you'd find Harold over at the Hall of Justice. So,
Right.
yeah. Okay, let's do Rokus and Icy at the Emerald Enclave first. Is that good?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, so you guys split up, and you two go back to the Emerald Enclave, and it's nearby where you were at the stables. It doesn't take you too long to walk over there, and you go in and find Aaron.
Philip? Aaron.
Let me find that section. Yeah, Aaron Euwood, half-elf druid male, who you have talked to before, is at the front desk when you guys come in. It says, "Greetings, you're back."
Yeah.
All right. Did you were you successful?
I think we were quite successful.
All right. Let's go into the office where we can talk in private.
Hey.
Okay. So he goes in and he says, "All right. So what did you find?" And you're able to describe everything. Is there anything you don't want to tell him?
Can't think anything offhand. But we want to stress the fact that the fewer people that know about what's going on there, the better
Okay.
for the village. That was their prime request, is that they or would like to, and particularly until we deal with this demon entity, that the place needs to stay secure.
They want to just, they want their life to stay quiet.
Mm-hmm. So Aaron is he's a half elf and he's part of the Emerald Enclave, so he's very in touch with this type of people. This is kind of people that the Emerald Enclave normally is trying to protect. The forests and the dwellers in the forest, in not just forests but nature in general. Um, so yeah, mostly rangers and druids in this organization. So he's very agreeable with your um, and agrees with you about keeping everything secret. So he says, "Okay, so let me see those coins that you found."
Okay, we'll show them to her.
And he looks at them. He says, "Well, the stuff you said is like, yeah, it's confirmation for me. I don't think it's something that we can use um, at the Hall of Justice, or to prove definitively to call them out or anything. But yeah, sounds to me like the ATC was involved in that. Um,
Um,
it's too bad that you weren't able to get the leader of the cult."
yeah, I'm afraid we didn't take very many prisoners.
Oh, you did take one prisoner, but yeah, he didn't know as much as maybe the cult leader might have known.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Let me keep five of these coins. I'll pay you back 5
Okay.
to replace them. Uh, yeah. I would say don't spend these just yet. But
No,
yeah, I'll keep 5 of them.
and we'll keep the rest as evidence.
Okay. So he pays you 5 gold to replace those 5. And he says, "All right, well, Um, let's see.
Now,
What was
you,
the?
the birch bow
Yeah.
that came here originally. Now, um, you the Emerald Enclave was aware of him, right?
Which say? Sorry, can you say that again?
They're going to give us $200.
Birch
I have.
bow.
You're going to get $200 or 200 gold for proof, which he may or may not be willing to give us for that, and then 200 for helping out Norin, which
Yeah,
we
yeah,
did do.
yeah. So he gives you the reward of 200 gold, and then he says, "Well, I can't really say this isn't good enough proof to really
Well,
help us out. But since you fought a sounds like you fought a devil and killed a bunch of people who are gonna burn the forest down. Probably I'll go ahead and give you extra 100 gold, so 300 total."
okay,
Okay.
very good. Now, birch bow from the Torralei, he's still here in the on in the free
Freeland
district.
district.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't checked in with him, but he should be over there.
Okay. Is there anything that communication back and forth between the town that could be arranged? Um, do we have um like
Hmm.
um I was thinking of messenger birds or anything
Well,
like that?
they're usually expensive to deal with, but we do have some agents that have sending stones. If it's if it's important enough, um, we could try to purchase something like that from one of the mages in town.
Okay.
But
Might
that
want
would
to
give us a
do
instant, ability to instantly communicate
that. Okay.
a short
Might want to,
message.
yeah. And we would only need to do it for them at the at Torralei to summon help.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a big enough thing to worry about. We definitely don't want outsiders barging in there again.
Yeah.
We're lucky that nothing happened.
I was thinking of sending uh, Birchbow back with something like that where the town can then alert us if we need to come quickly to help.
Okay, yeah, we can look into see where we can buy a set of sending stones.
Okay. Cool.
Only be able to relocate here to the Emerald Enclave for their own safety.
Well, it didn't sound like they wanted to relocate.
Okay.
But yeah, if they needed the problem is like the laws of Neverwinter, they wouldn't be able to get in here without the a pass. So we'd have to like set up something for them in the Freeland district or buy them passes, which would be expensive.
Oh, they
I
they
guess
did
they could.
okay.
We could have them join the Emerald Enclave. Then they can get passes that way if they'd want to do that.
We can
Just like
see
you guys. You guys got your passports through us.
if if they're interested, fine. If not, they can send a message that they need help and just do like they did before and head to the cave.
Yeah, might be good to have to see if Norin is willing to join us to get him a passport.
Okay.
I think, okay.
So, are you gonna talk to them about the deal with the village now?
Sure.
Okay. So he says, um, yeah, basically, he says, okay, basically, what we can do for them is we can get them a sending stone to be able to call for help, and we can have at least one of their town members join the Emerald Enclave so that they'll be able to come into Neverwinter directly if they need help.
Okay.
Um, and we can send out a ranger um on a regular basis to check in with them. But as for um like we don't have like an army or a big group that we can
Sure.
send in to fight. But we can do that. That's about all we can do. Um, we have some we do have some powerful warriors within our group, but they're spread out across the lands, like down south, over east, everywhere. Um, Responding quickly to something like that wouldn't be super easy to
Well,
show up in force.
we
Um,
you've got
you might have to work with Neverember to get a more substantial group of people to go defend the place.
well temporarily we've got our little group. I think we can be. Uh,
Never Ember would assist us because the ATC is run by his rival who ousted him.
That's
So I
true.
think
That
Never Ember
we've
would.
heard they're not very friendly. So
I don't think so.
he might be more willing than your average
Yes,
lord.
I think so, and I think he knows the powers that the nefarious powers of the ATC.
and just but wondering if you've heard or know anything more about this Zephyrin fella. Is
Seraphim.
Seraphim, yeah.
I don't know much other than the stories. He talks about what he's heard. It sounds mostly like the same stuff you've heard. That he was part of the ATC security force over in Aglarond to the east, and that they invaded um the country of what's that called? Thay, the country of Thay, when the necromancers were in power. Um, After the necromancers were messing with Aglarond, they retaliated,
Okay.
and that he was an important figure there, and that he's a duelist, and yeah, he's heard that he's an Eladrin. That
Hasn't
he
caused any trouble here, right?
No, like you're talking about since you guys have been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says uh yeah, I think he says yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the ATC. I think him and his group are headed out of town today or soon.
You know what where they're supposed to be going?
Uh it sounded like they're gonna get on a ship to head back to Waterdeep.
Okay, and kind of out of game. Um, we'd heard some point, it's been so long, about um through somebody we were oh yeah, I think it was when I was undercover at the ATC.
Okay.
Um when I was um
You went in
invisible.
invisible, yeah.
Yeah. That I heard them talking about some sort of device that almost sounded like magic missiles, things that people didn't need to be skilled to use that would shoot.
Okay. So I don't remember if you shared this with him before, but he's surprised to hear about that. But at first he's surprised, and then he says, "Well, yeah, I know. We've done some recon on some of their laboratories and their bases outside of Waterdeep, and yeah, we have the we think they're developing all kinds of things, um, but we yeah, again, we have very little evidence, but yeah, they may be um doing some dangerous things with magic. We've seen them bringing in different materials and taking over areas with high uh, levels of magic. Um, we know they have a powerful wizard working there and doing research and development for them. Um, they're selling those lanterns over there now,
Right.
and sounds like Waterdeep has been um, they've been tearing down a lot of old buildings and rebuilding like the new modern buildings, and it seems like last I heard that they're trying to integrate some of this mana gem technology into the city down there in Waterdeep.
And where is Waterdeep related to Neverwinter?
It's south. If you go south on the high road, you'll get to Waterdeep. It's a ways away. I don't remember how many days, but it's gonna be. Let's see. Have it on this map? Yeah.
But you can sail
Okay.
to it as well.
Here, I'll you guys start talking about it, and he pulls out a larger map of this region that you haven't seen before. So I'll drop that in for you if it lets me. Let me see. Actually, I should just let me. I'm gonna reduce this. Oh, looks like I did already. Okay, let's see if this works. If the files are too big, it won't let me drop them in. No, it's too big. Okay. Hold on.
But basically, you can sail to it as well. Right?
Yeah, and you guys, one of the things that Waterdeep is famous for, everybody knows this, is that it has a natural, um, the the harbor there is like super deep, like the ocean floor is extremely deep there, so that's why it's called
Like New
Waterdeep.
York Harbor.
Yeah, so you can sail full on ships right up to the city. It looks small.
Who runs Waterdeep?
The president of the ATC. Um, hold on. I'm doing with this image here.
Yeah. It's Octavian Marcellus.
Okay. There's the map in Discord. This is the official map that I've edited to add in some of our locations.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yep.
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 Okay, so you can see Neverwinter, and you can see Phandelver.
Wow. Okay.
And
The
this is
ways past Phandelver.
just so you know, this is still a tiny part of the map.
Okay.
The official D&D map of the continent is really big.
Okay.
Okay.
Like you can't even see the
Can't even see
place
where we
that
were at.
the place that I see is from is like way south from
Okay.
Waterdeep.
Okay.
On this map, you can see where Harbic is from, which is Star Mounts, and under that you can see the Kingdom of Understar. There's a city on either side of the mountain range, East Gate and West Gate.
Those both part of Understar?
Yeah, those are two of the cities. Those are the two main ways you can get into the underground kingdom.
Okay.
Southwood is where Rokus's adopted parents live.
I'm sorry. Where was that?
Southwood,
Oh, okay.
which is in the south part of this
Southeast.
southeast part. Yeah. Icy's from way further south in a grassland area that's not on this map.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Rokus, you're pretty familiar with most of the stuff on this map. You ranged up and down the coastline, and in the center there's the big river going down the middle. You've
Yeah.
been up and down that a lot, so you're familiar with most of the center of this map here.
That's Dumlimber River. Unlimber. Dumlimber.
Uh oh, that's not the one I'm talking about. There's another one up and down, going
Oh,
vertically up
okay.
and down in the center.
The Saran River.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Goes a long way. Okie doke.
Yep. So he pulls out a map like this to show you guys. All right. When he's talking about Waterdeep. Um, and since as you guys look at it, I guess you don't have a map of this area, so let's see if he has one. I'll roll a die. See if he has. Nope, he doesn't have another one.
Do you know where we could find one?
He says, I don't know if they probably don't have it at the general store. You
Could you
might have
pay
to
to?
look for a map maker.
I was gonna say, could
We
you?
could have someone copy this one, but that's just via. I don't know.
Yeah.
You should be
It
able to
wouldn't.
find someone in town.
Okay. What would? What? How would you refer to it? A map. This.
Uh, this is the a map of the north.
Okay.
The north of the Sword Coast, I guess you'd say.
North Sword. Swordcast.
Okay, cool. So you guys have gotten pretty much all your information out there. Anything else you want to ask him that he knows, or?
Um. Oh. If I were to want some more ranger training,
Yeah.
in my, is there anybody locally you could recommend?
Yeah, we have rangers that come in and out, checking in that we could, sign you up with if you wanted. And
Okay.
also, you know what? You guys have done a really good job with this area. You've told us about your feats in Phandalin and fighting a dragon. You've defeated a devil. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys up up your rank within the Emerald Enclave. Let me go get you something. So he goes and he comes back with a it's another badge that looks similar to what you have, but instead of one leaf, it has two. He says, "All right, so you are now I have to look it up. Well, I'm not gonna look it up right now, but you've ranked up. There's a name for it. I can't remember what it was.
We're
Or a
privileged to
small
more.
branch, no.
Yeah, you wearing this badge.
Gives you access
People within the
more.
enclave will know that you've accomplished something.
Okay.
That
Cool.
yeah. He says, and yeah. If you're looking for training, uh, I can get you in contact with some of our higher ranking members. And I don't know if it, at some point we're gonna have to deal with the ATC, I think, and I'll I'll put in a good word with for of you guys with Faxina Trismora, our
Who's that?
let me make sure that's the I think that's the right name. Huh, I don't have it written right there. Let me find it. Maybe it's in this quests here. Yeah, that's right. Faxina is one of the higher ups in the Emerald Enclave.
That's Faxina.
Yeah, I've we've talked about her before. She was she's the one who's was leading um the investigation on the ATC
Okay.
from the Emerald Enclave.
And that's Faxina. What's the last name?
I'll copy and paste it.
Okay.
Doo-doo.
Okay.
Says yeah, we might I'm gonna get in contact with her about what you found,
Okay.
and we might need you to we might call you for working with her. Not sure directly or get a mission from her, but I'm now that you've seen what these ATC guys are, how low they will stoop, and the kind of stuff they're getting into, you can appreciate how dangerous they might be.
Yeah.
They have pretty much unlimited resources financially.
Yeah.
And politically, he's pretty
They're
powerful as
connected.
well.
Yeah. Okie doke.
Okay, yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
get into contact with you if we need anything. 'Cause I know where you're staying and everything. And
Okay.
please, if you're gonna leave town or something from now on, come check in. Let us know what's going on, cause
Sure.
you're becoming a valuable asset to us here at the Emerald Enclave.
Okay.
And
Sounds
so
good.
he's oh yeah, talking to both of you. I know we've been talking with Rokus a lot, but I see he's appreciating you as well, and you have your badge as well.
Thank you.
Okay. We have about 10 minutes left for the session. We can cut back to Harbeck as he gets over to the um Hall of Justice.
Okay, due to the time constraints there,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a coach to the Driftwood Tavern first
Okay.
because I think it's going to take a while at the Hall of Justice, and I can do a couple things real quick at the Driftwood Tavern.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, so one is I will go up to the proprietor there and ask him if the message from the mines has come back yet.
Okay, I think that should be back by now. It's day
Should be. It
43.
was going to be supposed to take 4 days, so.
Yeah. Yeah,
And what
that's right. So you
the
got
message I
they got a message on day 41. So, what was your message?
my message to him was I wanted to know when do they think the mine is going to be in operation, and just ballpark how much per month do they think our 10% will be?
Okay. So, he he says that in a response he says that the Lord assigned to the area is supposed to arrive soon. But he's got some people from the ATC have been asking about buying the mine. He's not sure if he should sell or not. But he says he thinks it'll be up in operation. Probably things are gonna be slow through the winter. Um, so they're hoping to get most of the stuff done before the end of the autumn. Depending on how that goes, they're hoping to open next spring.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and he says it's disappointingly, it seems that the Forge of Spells, which was the brazier with the green flame, it seems like the magic there has dwindled a bit, and he thinks that they're gonna need to have a wizard come to um, work with it and see if they can get restore it in any way so that they can start build making magic weapons there to sell. He says as far as the mine itself, it doesn't have it's not a super rich mine full of lots of rare ores really. It's pretty standard metals and such that they can mine there, but the main thing that they wanted the mine for was the forge. So that's the main focus. Uh,
Right.
he's and at this point he says it's dwindled to the point where it's pretty much unusable um, for making weapons. He says at current state, it looks like they could probably do like a +1 sword basically, and then it would probably fade out. So they don't want to even try to do it because they're not sure if it'll burn out the whole magic flame there. So um, as far as the mine goes, it's not gonna be pumping out lots of money, and the biggest earner for the mine would be making magic weapons, which would be a few thousand per item. Let me see how much it goes for normally.
Yeah, the prices were pretty high when we were.
Yeah, it would be basically like what they were selling stuff for here that they'd be making if they could create these magic weapons. Um, yeah, so let's see. +1 magical weapons sold for about 500 gold in Neverwinter, and armor goes for a lot more, it's up to 2,000 to 5,000 gold. So he says, depends on how I can't really give you a good number at current times, but he tells you about how much he thinks he can sell stuff for if he gets it up and running. Otherwise, it's not gonna. It's only gonna be maybe 100 gold or so from just the metals and stuff that they can mine from there. It's not gonna be a big payout.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 100 would be our cut of it.
Yeah, he's thinking like maybe 100 gold per season.
Per season.
Yeah.
Okay. And
But it could be a lot. It could be way higher if they're able to get the magic weapon production up and going.
right, right. Okay.
And but that also depends on buyers and stuff.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, he lays most of that out in the letter in the response. So he says he's looking forward to dealing with this new lord who's coming in, who's a dwarf that Linnea set up,
Right.
and he's yeah. I think that's about covers everything.
Okay.
And then yeah, he did mention the ATC was poking around, so
Right.
that sticks out to Harvick.
So that puts us right at about 11. So how about I'll go down to the Hall of Justice next time.
Yeah, next session. Okay, so I'll prepare for next session is gonna be Harbeck talking with the church and with Lord Neverember, and then once those are dealt with, we'll start a downtime thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can stop the recording here. I'll tell you a little bit about the downtime after that,
Okay.
so you guys can think about it more. But
Okay.
let's call it for today, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Thanks.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Right.
thanks, Ian.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.